Welcome to this episode of Mike Crispy Unafraid. What is going on with these Supreme Court judges? We talk about the local activist judges, but is there a problem mounting on the Supreme Court? We're going to talk all about that. And the trade war is on, baby. Kung Fu Rasta. We're winning. Haha. Don't care. I want to welcome everybody to this very special edition of the show today, Wednesday, April 9th. And I need you to help us get this party started by rumbling this video. It is the thumbs up on the browser. It's the thumbs up on the mobile app. You click it, you hit it, you tap it, you share this, you get us to the top of these Rumble leaderboards because it's the only place that we belong. Hold on, Frankie, before we start the show. You notice we played the Bad Moon Rising song, having a feeling that our friend Bad Moon would be in the live chat today. So that was not an accident. That was not an accident. Frankie told me you were asking this. We said, let's play it. He's probably going to be in the chat. And chef's kiss, there you are. So Bad Moon is already the viewer of the day today. Okay, we got a big show. Now we can get it started. Let's go. Hello everybody, Mike Crispy here, coming live from New York. It is Wednesday, it is April 9th, and I'm joined in studio by the one and only. He is the most based producer in the game, and you know, he's on point on everything. Producer Frankie. Frankie, how you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. I mean, another day in the Trump presidency. I'm still smiling. How about you? It's only, I think the problem is my wrinkles. We're going to need some more, I don't know, colostrum or some OFP. The smile is causing wrinkles.
Okay, all right. Well, because smiling from the golden age of America. Listen, totally understandable. You know, there's smiling. There's things we smile about. There are things we're a little bit upset about. But I will say this. In the grand scheme of everything right now, I think we should smile. Even with the fear mongers on television telling us that we're going to have an economic collapse. Why? Because some third world country around the world isn't going to be able to sell us and scam us from their shit anymore. President Trump, he doesn't seem to be too worried about it. Matter of fact, he's glowing, looking, and sounding better than ever last night at the NRCC dinner, talking about countries. We're smiling. They're scrambling. Roll it.
Our country. And don't let some of these politicians go around saying, you know, because I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything, sir. And then I'll see some rebel Republican, you know, some guy that wants to grandstand, say, I think that Congress should take over negotiations. Let me tell you, you don't negotiate like I negotiate. Congress takes over negotiating. Sell America fast because you're going to go busted. You don't. I just saw it today. A couple of your congressmen said, I think we should get involved in the negotiation of the tariffs. So that's what I need. I need some guy telling me how to negotiate.
So you see there, President Trump obviously not swayed. And you know what, Frankie? He's looking pretty good. I mean, he had the tan going on. You know, the hair's looking good. He's cracking jokes about, you know, the size of the ballroom and the way in which the ballroom was configured, saying, if the stage was set here, it would have been a bigger crowd and this and that. We only raised $35 million. I thought we could have done 50. He's in good spirits. He's feeling good. He's making jokes about windmills, calling Adam Schiff's neck the size of a pencil. How does his big fat head stay up on his neck? That was just some of the best hits last night from Trump. Yes, Frank, you have something you want to say about it?
I just love this man so much, and I am curious to know if the menu on Air Force One has changed because the guy's looking better and better every day. I mean, he's slimming down. We got the Maha in full effect. It's beautiful, and
that's the crispy.
That's the crispy. There you go.
Absolutely right. That's the crispy. We're losing weight. We're feeling good. We're looking good. We're tan. We're skinny. We're handsome. And President Trump though had some serious words for people who are trying to, I guess you could call it, hijack our economy right now. You know, this economy belongs to the American worker, not to the Wall Street stock manipulators. What I mean by that is is that people in Wall Street and the stock market who like the cheap labor and goods from foreign countries, well, obviously they're purporting the panic. So there's a sell-off and there's the financial things, and that then, strains the Trump administration, okay, to make rash decisions that aren't in the the best interest of the long term of the country. And President Trump addressed that directly. Frankie, roll this.
I'm proud to be the president for the workers, not the outsourcers. The president who stands up for Main Street, not Wall Street, who protects the middle class, not the political class, and who defends America, not trade cheaters all over the globe. They're trade cheaters. They cheated on us. They cheated with tariffs on us. They stole our money. They stole our jobs.
They stole our money. They stole our jobs, and they've cheated us. So why should we be, if they don't come to the table negotiating good faith, why should we be in any mindset to even have a conversation unless they acknowledge from the outset, hey, we were a poor nation, Bill Clinton signed it away, and ever since that time, well, I don't know. Ever since that time, you've been getting a pretty good end of the deal, so you want to call it out. All right, how about we negotiate a deal now? We've been, built up essentially on the back of American exploitation for the last 25, 30 years. Okay, fine, we can negotiate something. And the funny thing is that even if we negotiated something, it still would probably be in their best interest because they would have nothing, and we weren't even doing a reciprocal tariff at the rate that they were doing. We were willing to do a discounted tariff, but then they put an extra tariff to match the tariff that we put that was still 3 times lower than their tariff. They couldn't even negotiate in good faith a little bit. Trump said don't do it. They did it. And then they did it again. So then Trump responded. Trump responded with a 104% tariff that I believe went into effect in the middle of last night into today, as the Chinese stock market is having its problems. They imposed an 84% tariff on the U.S. goods, but I wasn't too worried to hear that. And I feel good that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent isn't too worried either, Frankie.
Maria, I think it's unfortunate that the Chinese actually don't want to come and negotiate because they are the worst offenders in the international trading system. They have the most imbalanced economy in the history of the modern world. And I can tell you that this escalation is a loser for them. That they have some very smart, the economists, the academicians, technocrats within their bureaucracy, and they would be telling the leadership that we do not have the edge here. They are the surplus country, that their exports to the U.S. are 5 times our exports to China. So they can raise their tariffs, but so what?
So what? So what if they raise their tariffs? You know why it doesn't matter? Because what do we, the United States of America, rely on when it comes to the Chinese consumer? Does anybody ever say, well, we sell this to the Chinese consumer and therefore we must have a good relationship with China because, the people in Beijing or in Wuhan, well, they're used to buying XYZ product from the United States. Frankie, am I off on that? Is there any product that we, the United States of America, have that relationship? Is there any product in which we engage in that process with the Chinese? Now, again, on the flip side of it, there's a lot of things that, we buy made in China. But is there anything on the flip side, Frank? Am I missing something?
Nope, you are not. Just for example, like furniture, all that crap that we get, it's all made of particle board and falls apart. You could put a hole through it with your fist with ease. That stuff, basically, we get all that crap from China because they have like an 80% tariff on our furniture. So furniture manufacturing went down in this country like crazy since this Bill Clinton nonsense we rolled yesterday's show. And yeah, we're screwed at the moment. Thank you, Trump.
Yeah, and I think, obviously, if you look at the grander landscape of it in the next 10, 20, 30 years, I believe that they will crash. China will. And why will they crash? I actually saw a clip last night on CNN. It was Kevin O'Leary talking. And while people are doom and gloom about Trump right now and what he's doing and how, the goods that are coming into the country are going to cost more money. And so, if you buy something for $10, it's not going to cost 100% more. Okay, fine. It is short-term pain for long-term gain. And if you want to talk about the economics of foreign countries and just how fragile they are, just how much they hang on the balance, think about the high-stakes crazy game that Xi Jinping is playing right now in China. It's kind of wild if you think about it. Kevin O'Leary actually, I thought, summed it up very beautifully last night on CNN, talking about the fact that China can simply not survive the long-term effect of what is happening right now. So my question is, why are they doing it? Again, we speculated on the show yesterday that, in our opinion, there was some type of globalist backing behind the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, saying, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. However, at this point, will that outlast what Trump is doing? Kind of reminds me of Zelensky in a sense. How strong is Xi Jinping? Again, China's got a huge population, billion, right? Think of a billion people, Frankie. They're like machine. It's like a machine out there. Boom, boom, boom. They make babies and kids, and they got a billion people and a massive military, and all this exporting. But can they survive, or are they actually very fragile? Kevin O'Leary, roll it.
104% tariffs in China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it and sell it back here. Never has an administration. 400%
tariffs? What would that
look like? I want
Xi
on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on Earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on Earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well, hold on a second, Kevin. Well, I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe, can they withstand the pressure of that sort of tax on the goods?
It's short-lived. There will be
but what's your timeline compared to, you don't know the average American's timeline, what they can actually survive. There's people right now who can't survive
400% tomorrow morning, cheese on an airplane to Washington to cut a deal.
It would be really interesting. And Frankie, do you see a scenario? I mean, it's kind of interesting. He's talking about, we send in tanks and, drop bombs and plot weapons of mass destruction plots to do regime change. O'Leary is basically saying that if we use economic pressure, it would essentially put Xi on the brink of being booted out. Because again, you're living in a communist country. If the people don't have, the basic bread rations and foods, they kind of go belly up and go under. So the question is, does this put Xi Jinping coming to the negotiating table? Again, it would make him look weak, but what's weaker, him totally bowing out and not being the president anymore? Frankie, what say you? Any thoughts?
Well, I would say that the only question is how far is he willing to go? This is a man who, after they had some overpopulation issues, they basically sent out instructions on how to kill your daughter if you have a daughter instead of a man, and drown them in a bathtub. So if someone who could push that kind of leadership, the question is how far is he willing to go in letting his people go through literal poverty worse than they have now, where all of these huge companies, these huge warehouses, where all these, child labor, whatever it is, they have so much surplus probably that they're making, and now they're going to have just these warehouses full of stuff they can't sell, and these people are going to get hungry. And the question is, how horrible of a leader is he? Will he literally let his people starve to make a point? That's the question. We'll see how this, so I just don't know, but it can go a few different ways, but we'll see.
It is a good question. And Frankie, let's get a little multivitamin there, Frankie. It's funny. Whenever I just like reflexively want to click on something, and okay, it's back. I got a little word there. I reflexively want to click on something to like look something up about China, and then we're on the margin. We're on the margin, but we're good now, Frankie. We're on the good. Don't give me that look. But yes, I think that Xi Jinping, again, if you look in the psyche of Xi Jinping, strong man, Chinese Communist Party, you have the big display, he comes out, they do the clap, okay? If you ever seen like the Kim Jong-un, it's like borderline that. Like, can an American president, can Donald Trump put him in that position, and he has to make a decision, do I look weak and go to Washington and cut the deal? Or do I stay strong and I guess go down with the ship? Frankie, I actually think that he might go down with the ship. It'd be a really interesting development if this just like folds the Chinese Communist Party government.
We're going to find out pretty quickly.
Again, United States of America, find out pretty quickly. The United States of America is 40%. They consume the most by a large margin of any country on the planet. If you are the buyer, you have the power. You know what they say? Customer's always right. They say that at a local hamburger restaurant. Customer's always right. The customer is the United States. We're the customer. We're always right. We still are the richest country. We still do take in the most stuff. We're always right. So Xi Jinping has a decision to make that he very much so is likely grappling with right now. And it's his own ego and it's his own bravado. And you wrap yourself in of 30 years of you say people change when they go to Washington, D.C. and they're like turn into totally different people. Imagine being the leader of the CCP. You're thinking oh, everyone's kind of let me do whatever I wanted for the last 30 years. I'm untouchable. I'm Teflon. I'm the supreme leader. And then Donald Trump came along and said, nope. You're not going to be the supreme leader and gain all this strength and prosperity for your people and your Communist Party in your country and sell us out. Listen, I don't care what China does. I don't care if China has a communist country or a democracy. Don't care. Not my priority. What is in my interest and what should be in everybody else's interest is that they do not cause us economic and bodily harm. And that's what they've done to us with COVID, which again, I believe was a reset of many proportions when it came to health and the economy and the value of the dollar. It's almost like further on currency manipulation because the American dollar has never fully recovered from COVID. Nothing has. Do they do that? I mean, Trump was talking about that in the 70s and the 80s. They currency manipulate. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. But I'll tell you this. I think at the end of the day, what's my favorite saying, Frankie? What's my favorite saying? What's my favorite expression?
There's a few.
We have the cards. No, that's my favorite one by far right now. All right. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Show rolls on. Do not go anywhere.
You're really putting me on the spot today, huh, Mike? Any other questions for me to answer? Anything else?
Well, Frankie's a very
Let me know.
Smart
Let me know.
guy.
Just running the show.
The crowd, as the guy who hosts the show, I got to give the people what they want, and they want more Frankie. Frankie, it's not my fault. You're so loving and
All right.
irresistible.
I'll send
to
you
the
over a
audience.
nice board like this so you could just produce it while I'm running it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. We are going to, listen, we are going to do, if we have 100 Rumbles on this stream, next week, Frankie and I will do a switcheroo episode. If we have 100 Rumbles on this stream, a switcheroo, this day we have 80-something, 90. if we get 100 on this one, Frank and I are going to do the switcheroo episode amidst all the other things we're doing. And do a show where I'm in his chair and he's in my chair, and we do the show.
We'll see.
We got the cards.
We'll see.
I don't know. We got a lot of things going on, so I don't know. I don't know. So, all right, guys. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank the amazing sponsors who are making this show possible day in and day out. And I want to thank our live audience today, which is doing a nice job. And our first sponsor of today's broadcast are our friends over at iTarget Pro. Guys, head over to itargetpro.com right now and use that promo code CRISPY for 10% off your order. Guys, Easter's coming up and other birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, different occasions. Guys, the iTarget Pro is the best gift that you can get anybody in your family that is a constitutional, American, God-fearing conservative. Guys, the iTarget Pro is a laser firearm home training system. You have the traditional bullseye target, okay, which we've shown on the show, but they also have the iTarget Cubes. Okay, the iTarget Cubes you see right there. You set it up in your house. It syncs up with the app, okay? The app syncs up with the target, like the bullseye target and the cubes. You take the laser bullet, okay? You see the different variations of it on the screen right there that fits, the ammo size that, your gun requires. You load into the chamber, and you are able to dry fire in real time your accuracy, track it, mark it, keep it, and improve your shot over time without spending $1 on going to the gun range and without having to, buy this ammo that I think they're artificially jacking up and inflating because they say, hey, if we can control the supply chain and people have less ammo, well, that is how we chokehold the Second Amendment at a time where there's a president, President Trump, who's protecting the Second Amendment. So, guys, iTargetPro.com, the promo code is CRISPY. Go there right now and save big, 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 big time. We love that. iTargetPro.com, promo code is CRISPY. All right, and we got great people. We got great chat today. We got Bad Moon. It's good to see Bad Moon in the chat. Frankie and I were hoping for it, and here it is. Bad Moon, great to see you. Vintage Conservative Accountant. It's my boy, John Cross. Log, good to see you. You're not the viewer of the day today, Log. Sorry about it. Bad Moon is. Robbie Sunshine, T. Mitchell, Kit Kat, and I think Kit Kat was also talking about our show, too. So we love all of our real diehard fans. It means a lot. Locke, you're a viewer. You're not the viewer of the day today. But we appreciate everybody today who is, again, making the show possible. We thank you for the audience and the viewers. I was on, Newsmax 2 yesterday, and going to be on Real America's Voice tonight, on Turning Point tonight. Everyone always asks me about my appearances. Then we'll be on Lindell TV the next day. And then our show, Last Call with Mike Crispy on Rav, is back on the weekend.
Let's go.
So, we are all over the place. Frankie and I are grinding right now. We are grinding. So we're working very hard for everybody who wants the show to be better and bigger and stronger every single day. We are working very hard on that, and we're giving you guys what you want. So there you go, right, Frankie?
Dang straight, Mike. And just let's be real, Log. I have the same hat as you. You watch this show. You know that this dark MAGA goes way back. So listen, I appreciate you copying me and Mike, but don't get it twisted. All right, don't get it twisted. We started the dark MAGA before Elon, all right? Let's be clear.
Yes, well, it's actually true. I mean, I did have I had the hat like a week and a half before Elon wore it on the stage, and then it was sold out, but I had it. Everyone's like, oh my God, how did you get that hat? I'm like, good intuition and timing. I guess I am on the same wavelength, thinking like an autistic billionaire genius, Elon Musk. I don't know. So... Yeah, very good, very good. So, yes, Mike did it first. There you go. I like that. All right. We appreciate you guys very much. And, Frankie, I think we can roll right back on into it.
Ready to rock on in 5, 4, 3, 2, and action.
Hey everybody, Mike Crispy here. I'm back. I'm better than ever. I'm doing my thing. And Frankie's doing his thing. And you know what our thing is? Our thing is growing this page. Frankie, we're working pretty hard growing this page. I mean, I actually am pretty happy. We're getting some nice juice, some nice pop. Things are going very good. And I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about it. And I guess, a lot of people are excited about, obviously, Trump's back in. We got Pam Bondi. We have a conservative majority Supreme Court. Things you would think on the surface are going to be very good on the front of something that many Americans want right now. And that is a little word that begins with R, and that's retribution for what these depraved psychopaths have done to us. A lot of things, again, both unilaterally in terms of like illegal measures taken by the illegitimate Biden regime, but also things that are a little bit more personal that hit home, like the targeting by the Biden regime of Donald J. Trump when he was not the president in order to prohibit your choice from picking the president. Very interesting is a report that came out from Just the News, John Solomon, friend of the show. And it's pretty interesting saying that Ron Johnson, okay, not like everyone goes, this is a right-wing fringe conspiracy. Ron Johnson is a United States Senator, okay? And Chuck Grassley, another United States Senators. Again, the Democrats are quick to say, it's right-wing fringe people. But it's not. Sending a letter to our top law enforcement officials, including Kesh Patel, saying that they have direct evidence now that Jack Smith, yes, Jack Smith, was, and this comes as to no shock to anybody, Frankie, was directly colluding with the Biden regime. Ooh, wow, what a concept. During the special counsel probe into Donald Trump. What a turn of events. Frankie, we were talking about this when we were back up broadcasting in your attic.
Actually,
remember I had a viral clip.
Yep, that's a fact.
Where I said, it's really weird how, it was like Michelle Obama, was tied into, somebody related to Jack Smith. I can't remember the exact thing. But I had this clip that went back before they were shadow banning hardcore on Instagram, when they said all political content's gonna not get suggested. Before that, I would have these super viral clips. And I remember I had one where it was Michelle Obama connected to Jack Smith. Jack Smith, not even from America, has lived in the Netherlands for the last 10 years. Where do they find this guy? The last time they trotted him out was to target the nonprofit organizations, in Pennsylvania, that the Biden regime, the Obama regime at the time, wanted to see taken down. Remember that? Pretty unbelievable. But now it's coming out. The obvious was that Biden regime folks are, I guess you could say, doing what we always knew they would have done, and that was collude with Jack Smith. Color me shocked. The January 6th investigation where they destroyed all the evidence. Again, how does the select committee just destroy? How do you just destroy all the evidence? And then how does Hillary Clinton do the bleach pit, destroy all the evidence there? There's two very big instances of evidence being destroyed and Republicans not prosecuting something that, again, the Democrats would prosecute, no problem. They literally raided Mar-a-Lago. Because we want to feel like we are, moving forward. And again, I always say this about the Republican Party. It's like a beautiful but a negative thing at the same time. We love the country, so we don't want to see any of the norms kind of be breached with the country. So therefore, you don't prosecute political enemies. But they, through illegal means, 50 times over did that. And at the end of the day, I love this country, don't want to see the norms of it stomped on. But I think you got to set a precedent. You got to punish fraud and punish illegality if you want it never to happen again. Otherwise, what'll happen? They'll just dust it off and they'll put it back into the public discourse when they need it again. Break glass in case of emergency. Now, what is the stopgap for all this in our country? What is the stopgap for all this? What is the last line of defense? What is the last line of defense? This little thing called the Supreme Court. It's the last line. It's like all these bad things happen. District judges, federal judge, D.C. Circuit, Judge Chutkan. We got the Supreme Court above and beyond reproach. Supposed to be. Now, there's been reports that have come out over the last number of years about Supreme Court judges being compromised and the likes. And it's interesting to me how there seems to be a new Supreme Court judge that is doing things that I don't know, Frankie. Call me, I'll use the word conspiracy theory. I don't know what I want to call it. But is doing things that just seem like she's compromised. I don't want to use that word. I don't want to say it. But something's up. People remember the State of the Union, the body language on Amy Coney Barrett when Donald Trump walked by her. Frankie, did you remember that clip? Do you remember seeing that?
Yes.
She kind of gave the look like that kind of like when Frankie's upset about me when we're like doing stuff on the air and like I'm not, sticking to something. He like gives me a smile and he like gives me the look. It's like it's a telltale sign that like you're annoyed. Amy Coney Barrett, for whatever reason, has a disdain for President Trump. Body language doesn't lie. And it gets worse than that. Because since that time, since what we saw that day, we've had a couple of very important Supreme Court rulings. And on two of them, Amy Coney Barrett has been horrible. First exhibit here, Frankie, on the screen. Amy Coney Barrett sided with illegal Tren de Aragua killer cartel members over American citizens. I thought Amy Coney Barrett was this stalwart Catholic. Supreme Court split 5-4 to grant Trump emergency relief in Alien Enemies Act deportation litigation. Hold on a minute. President Trump, it's very black and white. Now, it is like very sad. Like you kind of have to like peel the onion back here. It's very sad that there would even be 3 Supreme Court judges. I'm not counting Amy Coney Barrett. 3 judges that would like say, oh, no. Illegal criminal aliens, like the left judges, like illegal criminal aliens would side with party over country and the safety of people and side with Tren de Aragua and say, Trump can't get rid of them. Even though the law is very much on the books about deporting illegal criminal aliens, Alien Enemies Act, it's literally, Frankie, the name of the act. It's like pretty self-explanatory. Alien Enemies Act. Are they aliens? Yes. Are they enemies? Yes. Is it an act, meaning it was passed by the Congress and formulated into law? Yeah. So Trump can't, exercise the Alien Enemies Act. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, I'm not even surprised.
What's even worse is
it's crazy.
Yeah.
You saw it. State of the Union. It was that up and down like look of absolute disgust. It is what it is. Like people tried to look into, maybe she was just no. That's what it was, Crazy. What's even worse is that Amy Coney Barrett sided with these people. Ridiculous. I think we have one before that, Frankie. We have the USAID headline. We're missing it. Now? There. Now we don't have it. It's all right. So, Amy Coney Barrett then, on a second measure, okay, after she rules, this is before she ruled on the illegal immigrants, she ruled with the Democrats on something else that was incredibly fundamental to what we're doing right now, cleaning up the country under the Trump administration. And it was Amy Coney Barrett siding with the leftists on U.S. aid cutbacks. Amy Coney Barrett, the Donald Trump conservative Supreme Court justice, has been branded a DEI judge.
She split with her fellow conservatives.
There you go.
She voted to leave in place the ruling from the district court judge, which ordered the Trump administration to unfreeze $2 billion in aid for foreign aid work approved by Congress. You tell me how Amy Coney Barrett, a Supreme Court judge, has the authority to do what has been vested. I would say the power is vested for the last 100 and 200 years. It's like, how does it work? Congress appropriates spending. They appropriate the spending to departments in the executive branch, which then spend the money. It's like, it's super basic. It's been going on forever for a long time. Here's how you know it's been going on forever. Because, Frankie, has there ever been an example, and thanks for popping up there, has there ever been an example, ever, of a conservative Supreme Court majority stopping Joe Biden from enacting DEI policies around the world?
Negative. That's a negative.
Why didn't the Supreme Court conservative majority stop Biden from sending the $50 million of condoms to Gaza? Why didn't they at the time stop the DEI initiatives and the Afghani Sesame Street? Why did they stop it? Because anybody, conservatives or Democrats, who go with the Constitution, and again, at this point, the leftist judges on the court, they just don't. Like, they're gone. So I always say this, the left-wing party, the Democrats, they're gone. But Amy Coney Barrett, really bad. Really, really, really bad. I mean, that's two really fundamental things she's hung us out to dry on. USAID funding and the illegals. I mean, Frank, is there anything more, like, are those the two biggest things, like, that Trump, like, that have been in the discourse, like Doge cutting and eradicating criminal, killer, illegal aliens?
Yeah, there were a couple signs, though, during the Biden administration with Amy. This was, I mean, I could have called this, I could have put all my money on red on this one. It was very obvious in my opinion, during Biden's administration. Just all the rulings pointed towards, oh, she's got a little soft spot for illegals, no question about it. My opinion.
Not good. Not good. And she did. She's demonstrating it right now as the country hangs in the balance. Thank God we have the majority. Thank God we got Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. 2 out of 3, I guess. That'd be good. It would have been good to be 3 out of 3. But a lot of bad. I mean, I don't know. Mike Pence was pushing Amy Coney Barrett. I went back and looked at like 2020 reports, like when Trump named Coney Barrett. Like I went back and looked like who was like boosting her up the most. A lot of it was like that Mike Pence wing, you know? Pretty wild. But we forge ahead, and it seems like not everything is, for loss. It seems like we're doing some good stuff too. Frankie, put this on screen. Supreme Court blocks order requiring Trump administration to return thousands of federal employees to work. So a lower court ruled that the Trump administration, again, in its scope in the executive branch, with the executive branch employees, said, we're getting rid of these workers. We're going to lay off these workers. This is the executive branch. We control who works in the executive branch. The secretary gets the money appropriated from them by Congress and spends it and creates departments, allocates who gets what job, who spends what the budgets in the departments are. None of this has ever been up for debate, ever. But this had to go to the Supreme Court. I kind of said, I said this the other day to somebody talking. I said, this is, I guess, the last thing they have left is to like kind of kick up everything to the Supreme Court and hope that enough things stick or slow down Trump's agenda fast enough to where, like, I guess, like if you slow down the agenda like fast enough, like enough things, like I guess you would delay it by a couple months. Is that the plan? Seems like it. So I got to tell you, something very, very bizarre is going on in our judiciary. And we need to pay very close attention to it. Amy Coney Barrett is a problem. A narrow House majority where members of the Senate also and the House are saying that they're going to try to put a bill in that's going to restrict Trump's ability to levy tariffs. Again, if you're a constitutionalist who just says, everyone's like, oh, Trump wants to change the fabric of the country and the democracy. Trump is literally doing things and wielding his power with the authority that has been on the books for a president for over 100 years. They're the ones who are changing it. Who's the threat to the democracy, actually? There you go. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So much more. Do not go anywhere.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. All right, Frankie. I am liking the episode today. I am liking the audience. I'm liking everything about this. I appreciate everybody who's tuning into the show. It means a lot, everybody. We thank you all very, very much. And we want to thank our sponsors who are making this possible. Frankie, we'll do a little multi while we read our next sponsor. And the next sponsor of our broadcast are our friends on over at OFP Farms. Guys, head on over to ofpfarms.com right now and use this amazing promo code. Back to Crispy. Use promo code Crispy. Yes, promo code Crispy for 15% off your order today. Guys, OFP Farms is amazing, okay? They got all of these amazing products. It's called the Maha line for a reason. All of these products are made with natural ingredients that you can pronounce, that you know, that are in the United States, not this chemically concocted foreign nonsense. When you buy a bar of soap, does it come from China? Where does it even come from? What's even having it? Nobody knows. But when you buy OFP soap, when you buy OFP soaps, lotions, lip balms, beard products, you get the best. You get the best. So guys, ofpfarms.com is the website. The promo code is Crispy for 15% off your order. And I'm telling you, you will smell great, feel great. Your skin will be radiating. The tallow is super good for your skin. It's got goat milk and tallow, which is both two very naturally good things with natural minerals, good for your skin. And you will feel the effect, and you'll be so happy you did because it supports small, family-owned and operated businesses that are MAGA, God-fearing patriots. We love OFP Farms, and we're grateful for everybody who supports them. Buy American. Support the show and support viewers of the show at OFP Farms. Frank, anything to add on OFP Farms? We know you love them.
Look at my skin. Does it look smooth? Well, you're right. It is smooth. OFP. Try it. That's all I have to say. I mean, it's beautiful. Mwah. Beef tallow.
It really is beautiful. Beef tallow, yes. It is beef tallow time. Okay, I like that. Beef tallow time. We got some sponsors in the chat. Some sponsors. We got some viewers in the chat. While I pull up our next sponsor, Frankie, say hello to some of our beautiful new viewers. I see new people.
Oh, I do. OFP with last. Oh, Kit Kat Mar. Yeah, if that 15% isn't enough, you can get that for 20% off. Last call. Sorry, Thurgood Marshall appointed by LBJ. That was abortion vote. Jersey Jane, always getting educational in the chat. Alex San, you got some things we should be reading. I'll find that eventually. We got Cartel Conversations. We're back.
Cartel Conversation. How about I like Den Low. Den Low. That's a new name I have not shouted out.
Yeah,
I don't
and
think
Den
ever.
Low
Den
really
Low,
just
Frankie.
Why you keep asking me to do more work?
Of
Den
Mike
Low?
on the other shows.
What the heck? I already got a plate,
Frankie,
and it's pretty full.
I don't want Frankie to unionize. So, I got my clips. I post them all on social media. Follow me on X, at Mike Crispy on X. I always post clips and stuff from my interviews on other places. But I had great interviews on Newsmax website. And I'm doing the Turning Point tonight, which will be on tonight at 10 o'clock. I believe 10 o'clock Eastern time. So we appreciate it. Conservative account says OP Farms is the best. Wife orders it like scarce. Even the sister-in-laws are ordering. Okay, I don't know what that. I think a little typo, but we appreciate the sentiment, John Cross. And guys, I want to tell you about our next sponsor, and they're a sponsor, Brightcore. Listen, as we age, we're all dealing with more aches, pains, hair thinning, and wrinkling skin. Even our nails get more brittle, okay? And I want to tell you about this amazing product that I think is going to help you out because it's got all natural things that your body needs, okay? You guys know they're robbing the nutrition from the food you eat, okay? Frankie and I were talking about it yesterday. I said, Frankie, I want some vitamin C. I'm drinking some orange juice. Frankie goes, nope, they're taking the vitamin C out of the orange juice because it's all chemically concocted. So you need to reclaim control of your health. And a way to do that, a very important thing that used to be a staple in diets, well, it's called collagen. And here is this amazing product, Revive from Brightcore. It is a multi-collagen powder. It helps strengthen bones and joints. And the best thing about Revive is that it works from the inside out. It's going to help rejuvenate your skin, help you grow back your hair back thicker. Look at this hair. People say I have a thinning hairline. Look at this hair, okay? I'm just going to go like this for the rest of the read so you can see the hair. Healthier hair, and it will help you with your nails. It'll get your nails growing back nice if you have brittle nails. Revive contains 5 types of collagen, all different types that work synergistically to make you feel and look younger than ever before. It is all natural, it is non-GMO, and it's 100% made in the USA. And today, exclusive for my viewers, you can get 25% off with your code MikeCrispy. Go to mybrightcore.com/MikeCrispy or call Brightcore for up to 50% off your order and get free shipping. If you want to call them, that number is 888-927-5980. And they could walk you through different types of products that they have and help you pick what is right for you. But if you just want to go to the website and buy the Revive, 25% off with your code MikeCrispy. Okay, that is Revive from Brightcore. Go get it. It's a great product. I have it. I take it. Frankie knows that off camera I talk about the importance of collagen. Okay, it's something that used to be found in bones, that we used to have more in the human diet, and it would make you healthier. So I'm a big collagen guy. Go get it today. I believe Frankie's wife also takes the collagen.
Oh, yeah.
So, guys, Brightcore, go get it. They're a great sponsor. Promo code MikeCrispy. mybrightcore.com/MikeCrispy. All right, Frankie.
On in. I'm fantastic. On in 5, 4, 3, 2, and action.
Welcome back to the show. Mike Crispy here. You know, it's a good day when the leftist meltdown is at such a level that they are invoking their 2024 presidential nominee. Yes, I'm a proponent of them doing more of that. Yes, keep invoking Kamala Harris. I think it's a great idea. Keep calling Donald Trump a felon. I think it's a great idea. Keep putting this guy on TV. I think it's a great idea. Roll it, Frankie.
Have to grapple with it. Because it's the snake, it's the beast coiled up in the heart, the bosom of the country, as Frederick Douglass said. And the fact that they are doubling down on this shows you what kind of human beings they actually are.
This is the best. Look at him. Look at his script.
We chose a felon who is more interested in loyalty, who's more interested in retribution, who's more interested in grift than in democracy. And we chose a felon because we didn't want to elect a black woman. So to read that, to actually explicate that, is to say we would rather destroy the republic than for that to have happened. And until we grapple with it, there's no amount of protesting I could do. There's no amount of resistance that could come into play to actually force 78 million people to grapple with what motivated them to put themselves in this position.
Oh, they'll never get it. By the way, Frankie, here's how, and we got to put that on last call. That's such a good clip. We got to put that on last call and have some fun with it. Here's the thing. He has his script, and he literally couldn't remember the 3 words, like retribution, loyalty, and grift. Like he had to look down to remember the 3 prongs of that goes to show just how, 1, intellectually lazy these people are. 2, how they don't even think about what they're saying. They just get told to say retribution, loyalty, grift. I listened to his whole stanza there, nauseating and mind numbing, but I still remembered the 3 things that he pronged this this heartfelt, allegedly heartfelt speech on. Come on.
Mike.
Yes, Frank.
Yeah, just Nicole Wallace, imagine being a reporter and the person's done talking and they just say more. All right, obviously he has a script to get to. It's just the craziest. I've never seen such a dynamic when you're interviewing someone in studio. It's you're done talking. Okay, say more. Keep going. Keep going. You're getting there. It's just bizarre.
Like this.
Ask a follow-up question.
We agreed.
I don't know.
We agreed to 6 uninterrupted minutes, because that's the time that it would take for the people behind the camera to write this out and you deliver it with all the dramatic pauses included. So bad, Frankie. Now, 78 million Americans. My favorite thing is that they say, oh, I can't believe they voted for this. They all have to come to grapple. You know what I voted for? And you know what 78 million Americans voted for? And you know what all 78 million of them see and go, yeah, that's kind of what I voted for. They voted, again, it had nothing to do with color or your phony arrests or any of this. It had to do with putting the country and its people first. And no matter who you are or what color or how much money you have, you can agree with that. And you can agree with this. Basic stuff. And the left, they will fight this almost like they're advocating for foreign countries like China. They'll root for the downfall of the country in the market right now, almost like they're doing the bidding of people tied into China. Roll it, Frankie.
Panama and the United States, less secure, less prosperous, and less sovereign. And as President Donald Trump has pointed out, that situation is not acceptable. We are grateful to President Molino, Minister Abrego, and your teams, along with the Panama Canal Authority, for responding to these threats and safeguarding the canal. President Molino's decision to withdraw from the Belt and Road Initiative reflects his government's clear understanding of China and the threat it poses. I want to be very clear. China did not build this canal. China does not operate this canal. And China will not weaponize this canal. Together with Panama in the lead, we will keep the canal secure and available for all nations through the deterrent power of the strongest, most effective, and most lethal fighting force in the world.
How can you be a TV commentator on MSNBC, watch that clip, and not for a minute just put yourselves in the shoes of the Trump voter and go, yeah, it's kind of like why I voted for it, It's pretty wild we'd let, some foreign hostile actor take over the Panama Canal and make all the money while I'm struggling to pay ends meet, while I drive over roads with tons of potholes, while I go to some shitty airport where the trains don't run on time, where, the healthcare services are horrible for our veterans and even for normal people on Medicare and Medicaid. I don't know. We're supposed to be the richest country in the history of the world. Basic things. It seems like they're, conditioning us to expect less. I don't know. Maybe I should vote for the other guy who's talking about putting America first. They'll never get it. That is why I say, the left, you can't negotiate with the terrorists. You can't do it. That's what it is. All right, guys. That's about all the time that we have on the show today. You guys know what we do in this broadcast. We keep it America first. We keep it bold. We always keep it unafraid. And, Frankie, I think we could say today, because we got a nice little pop today, I think we could say we're just getting started. We thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you back live tomorrow. Hey everybody, Mike Crispy here, and I am going to tell you about the smart money strategy. Warren Buffett just invested over $50 billion in energy. Billionaire Ken Griffin invested and increased his oil investments by 150% in the last year. Even Elon Musk says we can't live without oil. President Trump says it too. But here's what Wall Street isn't telling you. There's a smarter way to profit from oil than just buying stocks. It's a unique investment that lets you collect monthly royalty checks from America's richest oil fields. You're not buying shares in a company. You're getting direct ownership in oil producing properties. Drill, baby, drill. Let's go. And you can start with just $25 today. You can learn more about the #1 oil royalty play for 2025 at unafraidoilboom.com. That's unafraidoilboom.com. Unafraidoilboom.com to discover how to collect monthly oil royalty checks starting today. Let's go. Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. To make matters worse, it's highly unlikely your blood circulation will correct itself on its own, which means your health issues will only continue to decline as you age. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution for your pain. It's only a temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. Right now, you can go to getkrill.com/unafraid to learn how to get a special free shipping offer just for being a listener of this show. New research proves there's a potent deep-sea nutrient tucked away 73 miles off the Antarctic coast, which is the key to improving your blood circulation. Researchers are saying that this Antarctic super nutrient, if you add it to your diet, is phenomenal. It has omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These particular omega-3 fatty acids are sourced from wild-caught krill. The omega-3 content from krill oil has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. The benefits go on and on. In fact, some people report it outperforms name brand pain relievers.